stupid bastard! I was over here telling him to plug his. I was telling him to plug his show.
I
let me do that.
I was like, don't do it. We're not on, Omar. And you're like, Omar.
No,
I'll have to repeat all my best jokes.
I was just catching up with Kurtis. Now it's not going to sound natural. Thanks, Gabe.
I thought we were live too, so
I didn't even bother looking. Damn,
we were waiting. You know, Kurtis's computer was having computer issues. Omar is having Omar issues. So
What's having Omar issues? What's having Omar issues?
Anyways, we're live now. So what's up, everybody? Put your pants on. It's time for Omnibros Live. Welcome. This is an awesome special international version of Omnibros Live.
I was being so overly nice at the beginning to him. I was like, oh, it's so good to see you here, Kurtis. Like, I was being so polite. I didn't have to be. Damn it.
Yeah, you know, this is great. International, yes, I am Canada, and so I am happy to bring my perspective from this side of the border to our conversation. Thank you, Gabe, for extending the invitation. I didn't want to be presumptuous and invite myself on your show, but I have wanted to be here for a while, so I'm glad that you reached out. It was great.
All right, everybody. And that's Kurtis, everybody, from the awesome Epic Marvel podcast. We'll get a little bit more. We usually get a lot of people on this show, Kurtis. So we're going to hold back a little bit on pimping out your channel until we get the full swath of the Omnibros. Because I honestly, the full swath. Because I said it yesterday on the Sunday show, like, your podcast is my absolute favorite comic book podcast outside of Rob Liefeld's Observations. If it's 1A, 1B, it's good to go. But we'll get deep into that. In the meanwhile, Uncanny Omar, what's up, brother, man?
Not a lot. I was just letting you plug Kurtis over there. Plug his show, rather. Okay. Let me reword that. See, I did so much better when I was being genuine at the beginning of the show because I thought we were live, and now it's like, "Hey, Kurtis, what's up?" I've already did a virtual hug with him, and everybody got to miss that. No, I'm doing good, man. I'm glad everybody's here. Let's talk about these books that are coming out tomorrow. May or may not sell out. We'll see what happens.
It's another week.
It's a heavy week.
It's a heavy week. There's some good stuff going out. And
this one's not as bad as, what was it, the third week? The third week is going to be killer, man. The third week. And not for Kurtis, because he's epic, right? I think one epic book releases that day, so he's like, woo!
And also here is our main man, Gio, from A Week in Geekdom. What's up, buddy?
Hi, everybody. Happy to be here. Excited to talk with you fine gentlemen and everybody else in the chat and everybody watching later. Excited on a weird Monday night, but that is the norm here. So, yeah.
Why is it weird, man? Something going on?
No, because I forgot about daylight savings time. So I told Gabe before we went live, I've been sitting here for more than an hour waiting for us to go live.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. What?
That was like 2 days ago.
Where's Tugboat at? Is that what we're calling Jess now? Tugboat? Jess is sick. Jess is not feeling well, so we're wishing him well, and he will be back next Monday. So, thank you for asking.
So in the meantime, everybody, give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe. And also, I just want to give a shout out to our boy Jesse says what in the chat. We're here for you, bro. Much love.
Is he okay?
I'll talk to you about it offline. I don't want to put out anybody's business.
Yeah. No, please do. He's one of my favorite people.
100%. Yes.
I want to know what's going on.
John is right. I have that true dedication. I've been sitting here for 2 hours now waiting for this damn show to start.
But I'm looking at the chat. You never said, hey, guys, where are you at? Like, I know you're a nice guy. You're not that nice.
Because I realized after an hour, I'm like, because I have a different time now because of daylight savings time. So I just sat here and I just browsed the internet waiting for the link to pop up for StreamYard.
Oh, yeah, man. Okay. Sorry, dude. That sucks.
Yeah. So now it's 9. So we'll see. We'll see how the show goes.
Well, welcome to the future.
Yeah.
You know?
Welcome to the future.
Do they do daylight savings time still in Canada? Part of Canada you're in?
We are exactly north of the United States, so our time zones are your time zones.
So yeah.
Yeah, that was a dumb question. Can we go back and delete that, please? Like, pretend that didn't happen. What's up, Braulio? Gio, you want to help me out with that?
First live stream. Placencia? I think it's Placencia. I don't know.
Placencia. I had a friend that had that last name. We called him Placenta. But
yeah, that was too easy. That's too easy.
Low hanging fruit, man. NFL dude sent me a gift.
Gabe, check your. Yes, go ahead. Also, shout out to the chat. If you guys have any creative gifts, if you got any creative gifts, send them our way. We'll screen them and see what we can air.
Jess has the best facial expressions when he's confused.
Oh man, anytime we ever go through the manga section, his faces always look the same.
This is amazing. How do I copy this real fast? But anyways, you want to just jump into the deep end and get into you want to do hauls?
Did you do the plug yet?
Oh, cool.
Right.
No,
we got to make it more. Let's make it a little better. A little segue. Hey, where are you guys getting your books tomorrow?
Tomorrow, for anybody who's looking to get in some books, we got one spot that is the spot to pick up all of your omnibuses, hardcovers, epic collections. Yes, we're talking about epic collections today as well, everybody. And that is our wonderful, fateful, beautiful sponsor, InStockTrades.com. That's right. That's where you can pick up all of your awesome collected edition needs. You get awesome customer service. You get discounts up to 50% off with a extra 2% loyalty discount. We don't talk about that very often, but I'll throw it in. 2% loyalty discount as well. Once a month. We just did it on last Monday's show.
Last week.
We gave away a $50 In Stock Trade gift card, which is a worldwide raffle that we get to do. So everybody who watches does get a chance to get that $50 gift card. Wonderful customer service. Awesome, amazing packaging, the best packaging around, the kind of packaging that you keep and you use later when you got to send something out. Or if you're like me in packing, you use that packing for packing as well. And that's all. Big thanks with free shipping over in the U.S. of orders over $50 or more. That is IST, good old InStockTrades.com, the sponsor of this goofy show. And we love them for that.
They will even ship to Canada, but it won't be cheap.
How's that work? Like, what's the deal?
It
Shipping
just costs
charges.
a lot to ship international. It's just ridiculous.
I know some of my subscribers on my channel have told me what they do is they do it's like a third-party service that orders things from the US and then ships it all for you. Whether it depends on like if you're ordering from like big bad toy stores or whatever, and then they like that's how they save on shipping. Of course, you don't get your books like it's not gonna, I don't know. I guess it doesn't help you that much, but it does like help a lot of people that don't have Amazon available to them in their country or places or comic book stores.
Yeah, I think good comments.
Wow. Was it in a comic book? I don't know time zones, man. That reminded me of the Gremlins 2 conversation about the rules of feeding the gremlins. There's an interesting question from Bearded Nerd Nation. Is it me or is Corey Walker the worst thing that happened to Invincible? Didn't he co-create Invincible?
He co-created Invincible, and he's also the art director for the animated series. Like, that's all
right,
his
so
design.
according to Bearded Nerd Nation, that's the worst thing that happened to Invincible. That's like saying, man, isn't the worst thing that happened to Omar his dad? Like, that's just bad. His mom's great, but his dad, worst thing. Honestly, when you got Ryan Otley, though, I have to kind of agree with Bearded Nerd Nation, which I love that name, by the way. Ryan Otley, man, he was up here.
I wouldn't call Corey Walker the worst thing that happened, but I will say he completely got overshadowed by Otley really, really quick.
Well, and Otley was quick, too, right? He was quick.
Yeah, that guy's a monster. He's leaving Spider-Man, apparently, too.
Yeah. Didn't he make it?
Yeah.
Did he make it to 50? I don't think he made it to 50. I think he made it to 49.
49 was a big milestone issue, too. It was like issue number 800 or something like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Look at Kurtis.
Welcome to Omnibros, Kurtis.
Kurtis didn't expect that to happen so quick early on into the episode.
I knew it would happen at some point.
And this is usually what follows. It's like, where were we?
I don't know.
Invincible.
Reads Invincible stuff. Ryan Otley overshadowed him completely. That's Ryan Otley's book. I don't care, if he was the co-creator or what, but that book is Otley's book.
It's the same with Walking Dead. Who was the first artist in Walking Dead?
Tony Moore.
Oh, yeah, Tony Moore.
Charlie Adler took it over.
Completely overshadowed now. I can't imagine Walking Dead without Charlie Allard.
Yeah. I mean, Corey did come back at the end of Invincible for a few issues, but it was so jarring after being accustomed to Otley for so long, and then to have him come back. I didn't like it that much.
I remember when he came back, I was like, oh, please don't tell me they're going to finish this run out with him.
Yeah.
That's got to suck, like, as a creator, right? Like, you help create this character, but someone else is remembered as the ongoing writer, the ongoing artist, right?
Yeah. Mark Buckingham with Fables, that's another one.
Absolutely, right? Or well, and I think a lot of Vertigo titles in that way.
There you go.
Kurtis was not ready. Did anybody warn him that we don't talk about Omnis here anymore?
I've seen this show before.
He's used to podcasts, guys. There's no visuals.
It's a little different here. All right. Now I lost my train of thought. What's going on?
I don't know what we were going to say. Let's talk about I don't really have I do have a lot of reads. I just don't have them around me because I've been reading the crap out of different things because I'm taking a break from my normal old reader, new reader to just read things I want to read. I've been catching up on X-Men, just about to hit up X of Swords. What was Heavy Metal, Roger Stern's run on Avengers. I've been reading some of that because the Epic is coming out. It's been delayed. It was supposed to come out tomorrow, but I think it comes out in 2 weeks now, 3 weeks time. I hope the sales of those shows Marvel that we are in need of a Roger Stern Avengers Omnis. We only need 2 really to do his run justice, like all 2 runs, although I don't know how he would feel about X-Man versus the Avengers in there. I don't think he was a fan of that because, he kind of got canned from the book because he wanted to make Magneto evil again, and the editors was like, no, Magneto's good. All right, fine. Then you hire someone, and Tom DeFalco ended up writing it.
So would they, in an omnibus like that, would they just not print the 4th issue because it had nothing to do with Roger Stern?
Oh, yeah, they would. This isn't DC, man. Come on.
Oh, you mean DC and their Justice League of America omnibus that's coming out? That's kind of not complete.
I mean, if you're a Grant Morrison fan, yeah. I'm really hoping there are mistakes from the solicits because, when you're missing those secret files, you're missing the non-Grant Morrison run. And you know me, I'm not the biggest Mark Miller fan, but if those issues were in there, or the Christopher Priest issues are missing too. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Some of those Roger Stern Epic collections, the Avengers ones, are out of print, and Marvel has
Final Threat, right? That's a big one.
That's not Roger Stern though, but like Judgment Day, I think. But
Final Threat's the biggest one.
But that's not Roger Stern.
You said that already.
Specifically about the
You're
Roger
talking about
Stern
just
one.
I don't know
Because
you usually double check for me when I have a list. I'm like,
hold on, I
Curtis,
better
can you
check
double
my
check?
list.
Yeah, exactly. Because I send you my list, and you're like, okay, all this is good except add these Star Wars books. Because the guy that gets me my list together, he doesn't really care about Star Wars. So Judgment Day.
Though,
Judgment Day is out of print.
Yeah,
you were talking specifically about the sales of the epics, the Roger Stern ones, and how you're hoping. Yeah, Judgment Day is out of print, and it's been out of print for a long time. And if Marvel thought that the sales would be good, I would like to think that they'd jump on reprinting that, but they haven't. It's been
Curtis. We're gonna get an omnibus first, and then they'll reprint your epic collection.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm really surprised some of these haven't. But I mean, remember when you and I unveiled like the first quarter of 2021, all the epic collections, how upset people were about all the reprints? Because it was like, what was it, like 10 reprints? I can't remember. It was you and I, and then like 5 new books, right? Or no, it was 3 new books.
It was just the 3 new titles,
and 10 reprints. And people were like, what's going on? But I mean, if people want reprints, this has to happen, right? Like, we can't have 13 new books, 13 reprints, and expect sales to. I mean, this is the reason that they don't reprint an omnibus every month. So,
yeah, I mean,
I take that back. I think they have been lately. They don't reprint 5 omnibus every month.
They'll have to go to different printers, because they have a certain number of printers, and those printers have a certain number of slots in their schedule, and Marvel prints a lot of books on a monthly basis.
Do you call it a schedule?
Schedule.
Okay, I thought you called it a Canadian schedule. I thought that was the Canadian word for schedule. I was like, that's so cool.
It might be in like Newfoundland or something.
It's a European way of saying schedule.
Schedule, right?
I remember that from the movie 3 Men and a Baby.
Why would you? Never mind. Go to
3 Men and a Baby 2. It was one of those.
That's 3 Men and a Little Lady.
It was Tom Selleck.
Don't ask me why I know that. Go to Rafael Miranda's question at 827. Somebody that has control. Please. I just want to clarify one of these things. It's the Manhunter question, please.
I got it. There you go.
Okay, Omar, I saw your video on Manhunter. Very intereso. I got you, man. The character. Are those trade paperbacks impossible to find? No. Like, when I made the video, I double check because I'm like, I really don't want to do a video on like books that are $100 each. They're not. And Mark and Draco actually commented on my video. He saw my video and he thanked me for doing it. And he said, now let's get DC to reprint these trade paperbacks so everybody can read it. And I said, no, let's get DC to make Omnis and then do trade paperbacks. That's my goal, because this character deserves it. And so do you, man. It's such a freaking awesome series.
So they're saying Judgment Day came out 2014.
That's right. And it's sold out, I don't know, maybe around 2016 or 17 or something like that. And it's been out for 3 or 4 years. Why am I not in my Epic Collection room? It's because my kids are home and I needed a quieter place to do this live stream. And that's my library is not a separate room apart from my family room.
I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. How about a Sleepwalker Omnibus? Well, I'm sure. Okay, actually, let's talk about this really quick. So, Curtis and I have told everybody, because it's true, that the Venom Epic Collection is the #1 best-selling Epic Collection all time, right?
Amazing.
Wow.
So,
Venom sells.
Y'all get ready. Like, the older people in the room that are waiting for their Ant-Man Volume 2, y'all are not going to be happy, because if that sells, then I remember telling him, I'm like, that's going to lead the door open to like Deadpool Epic Collections, Darkhawk Epic Collections, Thunderbolts Epic Collections, New Warriors Epic Collections, and you brought up Sleeper, but things like that, or maybe even Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider, because I mean they're seeing this character from the 90s blow up in an Epic Collection format, then they're gonna start dipping their toes in the water of like,
the other 90s stuff. Yeah.
Let's try this other stuff. I'm not saying they're going to get rid of the other stuff, but I mean, for sure, they're going to. The Epic Collection is going to get huge. That's all I'm going to say. Like, it's going to get a lot bigger, which is hilarious, right? Because remember how David was like, I don't want to call Conan the Barbarian an Epic Collection because everything is an Epic. Everything can't be an Epic. And then he changed his mind because you were like, ask him. And I'm like, all right, I asked him. We'll see what he does.
Curtis.
Yep. Yes,
right here,
that's
buddy. Me. Yeah,
that's the one right there.
Yes.
I'll buy it in a heartbeat, even though I've got all of the single issues, and I buy all of the whenever they reprint those issues in trades. I love Generation X for all of its faults. I love it all the way through.
Well, I mean, I remember on your podcast you talked to like everybody involved in it. You even talked to the letterer who was working on it.
Damn,
it's a fascinating story. It's great, yeah. If you've never heard a podcast interview with Richard Starking, the letterer, it's fascinating. Just the stuff that, like, he talked about how he redesigned the logo and all this kind of stuff. And I talked to Steve Buccellato, the colorist, and that was also really interesting because I've never really talked to a colorist before. The only person I couldn't nail down, or two people I couldn't nail down. One was Chris Vicello. Couldn't get him to commit to a date. He's super busy. And also Terry Dodson. I really wanted to talk to him, and he was also just kept on kind of putting me off.
Oh, that's too bad because Chris Vicello is the sweetest guy. He's the sweetest. He did a signing at Torpedo a few times, and he's super sweet.
Cool.
Yeah.
How Terry Dodson, that was during Hama's run, right? Like when Larry Hama and then
that's right.
Didn't James Robinson write some of it too?
He did, yeah. Yeah, and that was...
You got to interview him?
No, I didn't get to interview him, actually. I could not get a hold of him at all. But almost, most of the other big major players I was able to talk to, which is great. I love that series a lot.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect time, Kurtis, for us to talk about your podcast.
Sure, yeah, I have a podcast. It is called the Epic Marvel Podcast. And in each episode, I try to take an epic collection, and with a different co-host each time, we go kind of issue by issue and talk about just as much as we can, go in depth about the stories, the characters, the artwork, the writing style, all that kind of stuff, and try to how do I want to say this? We like to try and provide a good companion to your reading experience. So if you're reading along, you can then listen to our episode and hopefully glean a few things that you didn't know before, or look at it in a different light from a different perspective. I also do a lot of interviews. So if you go to the website, epicmarvelpodcast.com, and look at there's an index at the top of the page with a master list of all the episodes and all of the interviews. I've done over 50 interviews now with various people, and it's been a wild ride, and it's still going strong. I
said earlier at the beginning of the show, it's my favorite podcast. It's one of the only podcasts, honestly, Kurtis, I actually go back and like re-download a lot of the interviews that I've heard before, or a lot of the discussions that you have with your co-hosts. It's just good listening. It's good, like you said, it's a good companion. If you read the Epic collection, you go back and you kind of listen to it. You can follow along. You got some of the best co-hosts. I love Adam Chapman. I love the ones that you do with your brother, because the one that you do with your brother is the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And those are really great.
A lot of research.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of Fantastic Four, you guys got Tom DeFalco on your show a few times.
That's right.
That guy is a wealth of information.
Yeah, in fact, I have sitting for no apparent reason, I just haven't released it yet. I have an interview with him and Ron Friends talking about Thor, them together, and it's a great interview.
That's one of my top 5 favorite.
Just send me the file. Just send me the file.
I'll get it out eventually, when I have some time to edit it down a little bit.
So how do you go about? Because I'm gonna tap you, Kurtis. That sounds bad.
You were plugging him earlier.
Yeah, now
I'm saying that.
Because you got, I don't know how you go about getting like all these, like there's a lot of like Bronze Age, late Silver Age, early Bronze Age creators on the show. How do you go about contacting them?
Basically, it's all through social media. They all have a presence online, and they, we like to think that they are rock stars, but they're actually just sitting around kind of doing nothing. So it's like I'll contact them through Facebook or through Twitter, and like Jerry Conway, he has a Tumblr account, and that's the only way I could figure to get a hold of him. And people like I talked to Larry Lieber, Stan Lee's brother, and I actually looked him up in the phone book and just cold called him, and he was willing to chat.
That's awesome. That was a great interview too. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, that was one of my favorites. He is such a genuinely nice person, and I think just if you listen to that one, I think you really feel for where he's at in life right now. That was before Stan died.
Yeah. Because this is, if I remember the interview right, like his wife was getting sick or was sick, or he had a wife. He had some
had a wife, yeah.
Going on. Yeah. But these interviews are great, especially some of the older guys, because it's not just about the book. Like
Right.
you get there's some gossip. They drop some gossip on your show about like the behind the scenes workings and some of the conflicts and some of the triumphs and the struggles.
And that's I interviewed Jay Faerber for Generation X because he was one of the writers at the late stage of the game.
Yeah, that was towards the end of the run, right?
Yeah, and he was an editor for the X books, for half of the X books during the whole Heroes Reborn kind of period, and there was some very interesting stuff to hear from him there. And that's what makes Rob Liefeld's podcast so great too, is that it's just he goes into great detail about the behind the scenes stuff there. Yeah,
and that's the stuff that you can't get from like reading a magazine article or reading the comics or
anything published by Marvel won't have that stuff because they just use their own promotional material as puff pieces. Mm-hmm. They don't want to get into the dirt.
Yeah, because I went back and I did a marathon because I was packing my books. I'm getting ready to move a little bit later. And I downloaded all the Silver Surfer episodes you did. And you have, he was on the show too, but you had Ron Mars on the show, and it's great stuff talking to him about it.
And Jim Starlin, the Jim Starlin interview was a lot of fun.
I've heard the Tom DeFalco stuff before. Like I said earlier, the Ron Friends, they were talking about being on Daredevil going into Thor. It's great stuff. So everybody out there really needs to give the Epic Marvel podcast a listen to. Like I go back 3 years and I'll pull up a good interview that Kurtis did. I want to rehear or I haven't heard before. Like today, it popped up was the Jerry Conway interview you did where he was talking about the Marvel monsters or the Marvel horror stuff. And I'm like, I don't really care about the Marvel horror stuff. Like, not my thing. But I'm like, it's Jerry Conway. He's a nice guy. I've met him before. And you might not be interested in the material, but the conversation and the tidbits and the talk is 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Because these older guys, I've talked to Jerry Conway before. I've driven him to the airport. Nice. And he's like, I'm like, oh, man, thank you for all your work you've done. Because you never really, you really want to, if you meet these older creators, you want to give them a chance to thank him because you don't know the next time you're going to see him is going to be. And he's like, I'm just surprised you guys even care about what I did. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you created the Punisher. You were one of the editor-in-chiefs of Marvel for a while. Like
for 2 weeks.
Yeah. They were bouncing around a lot of creators back then. Yeah. But still, you get a lot of that stuff in those podcasts. So everybody needs to 100%. You got to give the Epic Marvel podcast a shout out. You got to check it out. It's on pretty much anywhere you can get podcasts, right? iTunes.
Yep, that's right.
You got a new YouTube channel that you're
that's
premiering, right?
That's what I'm starting now too. I figure all of you people have these YouTube thingies, and so why should I have one too? So I
gave him some tidbits.
Yeah, I did. I talked to Omar quite a bit about just how to do it properly. So I'm creating a bunch of videos specifically about Epic collections to kind of get people. There's a lot of questions that are asked on a daily basis to me, like, what are the endpoints or whatever. So I'm trying to do a series of videos. I'm just finishing editing, and I'm hoping it will go up tonight. Kind of an overview of the whole Silver Surfer Epic collection line, all the volumes that have been published now. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks, Kenneth. He's been a listener for a long time.
Kenny's a good guy too.
Some great deep dive facts. Yeah, so I have an episode coming up pretty soon about the the Fantastic Four Epic collection called The More Things Change, which is the second volume of Steve Englehart's run, and it's going to be split into 2 episodes. And the second episode has the Secret Wars 3 storyline, where Steve Englehart goes completely bonkers with very, very obscure references to different corners of the Marvel Universe. And we pretty much spend the entire episode trying to unpack all of the references and what they mean in the greater context of the story. So if you like that kind of thing, then that's what we talk about.
So in the chat, everybody, I got the link up to the website for the podcast. I got the link here to Kurtis's YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Also, we have his address, his blood type, and
we got his shoe size, and
whatever you need. We'll hook you up.
One thing we haven't really quite talked about yet, but I do have down below in the description all of that information, along with the Epic Collection Facebook group as well.
That's right. So yeah.
There's another Facebook group out there that you guys can join in. It's a great, everybody's pretty laid back. A lot of good information on Epics. One of my favorite things, and I know I helped you out with it once before, is once a month, beginning of the month, you put out a list of every single Epic collection that's available, out of print, low in stock.
That's right. So if you are trying to collect them,
and some FOMO going on with that.
I love it. Yeah. So I think it was yesterday I posted the new list for November, and there's always a few that are approaching out of stock according to Diamond's stock levels, and then a couple that have gone out of stock within the last month. And just in the comments, it's like, and I did this too. So Star Wars Epic Collection Clone Wars Volume 3 is now out of stock. And I've just started collecting the Star Wars Epic collections. And so I'm like, gotta buy that one right now.
Yeah.
You FOMO'd yourself, fool.
I did.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. So everybody, you're missing out. I swear you're missing out if you're not a part of Kurtis's podcast. You're not listening to that. It's great stuff, dude. And I just want to thank you.
Thanks.
We met before in person, but I want to give you a chance that I really do appreciate that podcast a lot.
Thank you very much.
Like, even you got me buying you jerk, Kurtis. You got me buying like Master Kung Fu, and I was like, God damn it, Kurtis, that really sounds cool. I want it's like
Master Kung Fu is cool.
Master Kung Fu is cool. Moon Knight, like the Moon Knight discussion you have. I forgot who the co-host was. Is it Adam again?
That was my brother. No, my brother was on that one, Eric.
Okay. I got into me getting into the. You got me into I would love some Alf stuff, especially they have to have the cover of, I think it's 48, the seal cover.
How do you remember that number?
No, we don't.
Nobody remembers.
Leave Alf alone,
dude. You fools are gonna make that happen, then you're gonna regret it.
And then I'm gonna have to buy it.
It's gonna be like Muppet Babies, and you're gonna be like, why did they make a stupid Alf Omnibus?
Soon to be on Ollie's. Yeah, so like you got me into the Moon Knight stuff. You got me into Master Kung Fu. I'm like, man. And it's just great. I mean, you can buy what you want. You don't have to buy the full run of the epics, but some people choose to. I know you guys on your group, a lot of it's like, I got 176 epics and counting. I'm going to hit that 202 soon. I got to get all of them.
I'm getting all of them, and I'd never read Moon Knight, and I'd never read Master of Kung Fu. There's so much stuff that I've never read, and I'm so glad that this stuff is out because I'm having a blast. I'm learning, I'm experiencing stuff I've never thought that I'd enjoy, and I'm totally enjoying it. And I love talking comics to people as well. And so, like X-Force Volume 1, there's a comic that I never thought I would enjoy. But the co-host that I got for that episode, James, loves X-Force so much, and that perspective makes me appreciate it in a different way. Like I still, it still has its issues for sure, but I love hearing why the people who love this stuff, and it's just fantastic.
There it is. there it is. We now have a Alf.
Who has the time to? Did they create an account?
Yes.
Called Alf Omnibus.
You are awesome, whoever Alf Omnibus is.
I hope it's Jess.
Oh, yeah. How did you do that? That's awesome. Thanks, Gio. That's a lot.
With the seal and everything.
I hope it's Jess.
Oh, gosh. Jess is just hurt at home, but he's like,
y'all going to get Alf canceled before that book is even out.
I promise you, I will make this audacious statement right now. If an Alf Omnibus is produced, I will buy it, and it will be my first Marvel Omnibus.
Shit, don't do that, Kurtis. What are you doing?
I will. I'll get it. I'll do it.
Oh, man. No.
You silly bastard.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about Omar, what you read. Jill,
Did we?
you got
Okay.
anything to report, sir?
Nothing much. I started reading Fables hardcover 10 for my next live stream on my channel, and I've been reading some manga, getting up to date with all the Shonen Jump series, and what else? I don't know. That's about it. It's been a slow week. I've been busy.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Kurtis, you got anything to read?
Yeah, a lot of my reading revolves around my podcast. So I'm finishing. I've read this stuff before, but we have an episode coming up from the second half of Ditko's run on Spider-Man. So I've been reading this. And I've also been reading some more issues of Not Brand Ek for my podcast as well, which is the satire book that Marvel put out in the 60s. As far as non Marvel related stuff, I have Corto Maltese by Hugo Pratt. This is a comic this is the last volume of this series. It's been translated in English now in full. I work for this company, the Library of American Comics and Euro Comics. They put out a ton of great stuff, and so it's all black and white. It's about this guy Corto Maltese, who is a sea captain, goes around adventuring, looking for treasure and whatnot, and it is just one of the best comics that has ever been done.
Have you read all of them?
I have not read all of them yet. I have read half of them, and some of them are quickly going out of print. And when I started working for these guys, they were already halfway through the series. So they send me comps now that I work for them, but I have to try and track down the other ones now.
IDW is the one that publishes them here.
Yes, that's true.
Euro Comics line. And
right.
When those came out, they announced that they were going to do a hardcover edition of them. And it was going to be 2 in 1. So my dumbass waited 3 years before I realized, they lying. They're not going to release these in hardcover.
Yeah. We wanted to, but IDW pulled the plug on that because it's such a niche market or niche, as you say in the United States, market, and they don't sell as well as Transformers and My Little Pony.
That's sad. Hey, Transformers UK got canceled too, so it's not.
It's true.
Don't be busting on Transformers.
I need to find those Transformers. Is it the classic ones I need to get that has all the original Marvel stuff unedited for the most part?
Yeah, those are all out of print, and I think they are all really, really expensive now.
Never mind.
Oh, dude, all you got to do is tell Jess, and he'll find somebody who finds them for you. I've got them. There's 7 of them, and then 5 of the UK ones, but they canceled that line. There were supposed to be 7 or 8 of the UK ones, sadly. Oh well, what are you gonna do? But I love that line because the Marvel ones were just so different than the movies or the TV shows rather.
A Warlock's got a little topic idea. Ranking your top epic volumes from each series or creator or character could be a fun topic for Omnibros or near mint condition.
They should do like a March Madness bracket or something.
Well, we have that bracket that Geo does, right?
Oh yeah. I should do one for the collections. I'll have to ask you how that works.
Yeah,
behind the scenes works for that. So that'd be fun.
Yeah, it's very easy. That'd be a great topic, and using the tier list would be a great way to get everybody involved. So,
I just packed up all my epics. I think the only one I got is I just bought it. It was last week. Was Captain America's Monsters and Men.
That thing went out of print, didn't it?
Did it? Score.
No, wait, Curtis, can you double check that for me? See, this is what I do. Curtis, double check.
Monsters and Men is that's the newest one that just came out, right?
Yeah, with Zach and
it's not out as far as I know. There are some outlets that are just they just didn't order enough copies or whatever, but it's not out as far as I know, as of yesterday.
Mike Zeck, John Beatty, and Jim Shooter were just at Torpedo last weekend, and I missed it. I could have gotten that signed and everything. That's life.
Wow, that's cool. I tried getting a hold of Mike Zeck, but he never answered any of my messages.
Oh, man.
You gonna call him out? We'll call him out for you, man.
Okay.
He's a nice guy. I've met him a few times at conventions.
Have you had Shooter on before, Curtis?
Yeah, Shooter was actually my very first interview.
Okay.
He's an awesome dude.
And we talked specifically about his run on Avengers, and that was right during the changing of the guards between a whole bunch of different editors-in-chiefs, and he goes into some pretty cool behind-the-scenes stuff about all of the changeovers that are happening from his perspective, of course.
Right.
But yeah, it's very interesting stuff. But that was my very first interview, and I'm grateful that he actually agreed to do it, because I was a nobody who didn't have any sort of clout at all.
Yeah, and he's such a divisive character in comics.
Yeah.
He's such a strong character in comics.
Yeah.
Like, just not only just the idea that he was drawing Legion when he was like 13, 14 years old.
Right.
And became editor-in-chief. And his first day as editor-in-chief, he had to come up with royalties, the idea for royalty payments to the artists and stuff. It's what a just rocky adventure he's had. There's a shooter camp, and there's an anti-shooter camp in Marvel. So, yeah, that guy has some great stories. He is really behind the scenes. He's one of the last EICs that actually worked directly with Stan Lee as well. So, a lot of good stories about that too. I guess I'll jump into my reads real quick. I can't show them. I got them somewhere else. But I did a full-on spoiler talk yesterday on our Sunday show where I talked about TMNT: The Last Ronin from IDW, which is fantastic. That was really good, really fun. Nice reveal on who the last Ronin turtle is. I'm not going to get into it here. If you want to hear about that, check out yesterday's show. And then I also talked about Three Jokers, number 3. Big. They. I don't know if I'm using this baseball analogy correctly, but they fumbled it at the 1-yard line. I felt. I'm also polishing my way through Chainsaw Man Volume 1. I've been a little busy. I haven't had a lot of time to break into it. I talked about it a little bit on the show before, but this is getting fun, Gio. You're right. It's fun. It got some gore. It's got some a little bit of kind of like love interesty kind of stuff going on, but it's mostly just a guy that got some monster inside of him that turns into a chainsaw, and he just wrecks up a bunch of demons and monsters and cool stuff like that. And he gets in a fight with somebody, and when this guy gets in a fight with somebody, all he does is kick you in the nuts over and over again, which is amazing.
It gets crazier by each chapter. So get ready.
Chainsaw Man's great. That's it for me in my reads right now. I'm gonna try and make it through that Chainsaw Man when I get some free time again, whatever that's like. All right, so let's. You want to jump into Halls? Curtis.
Yeah, sure.
Curtis, you're our special guest. You want to? You want to break the seal on this one?
Sure. I brought my stack to show everybody here.
Nice.
I love buying just comics of all sorts of different genres and everything like that. So I have a very, very eclectic taste here. I'll start with something that you probably all know. Donald Duck, The Lost Peg Leg Mine. I actually had a pretty big haul in the last little while, and I did a haul video on my YouTube channel, and so some of these are part of that, and some of these are not. But if you haven't read any Carl Barks Donald Duck, like, you're missing out. He's one of the best storytellers, and you might write this off of as a kid's book, but it really is some of the best adventure storytelling and also some of the best humor. He flip-flops between adventure and humor, and it's just really, really great stuff. So there's that. I went into a comic book store that I rarely ever go to because it's in a suburb, and they had in one of their bottom shelves in the corner, like where nobody ever goes, they had some books that I was very interested in. One is Kelly Green by Stan Drake and Leonard Starr. They had 3 volumes of this, and it's fantastic. Just it's a European book, again, that got translated quite a while back. Just an adventure strip about this woman who gets sucked into some detective work, but really, really, really good stuff. Excited to plow into those. There's 5 of them, and they only had 3, so I have to find the other 2 now. And have you guys seen this before? The movie adaptation of Dick Tracy.
No, that's cool.
It's very, very cool.
Never seen that.
The artwork is all by
Warren
Kyle
Beatty?
Baker. Yeah, the Warren Beatty one. It's all Kyle Baker artwork.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's really, really awesome.
Nice.
This is one of my favorite comics. The last chapter is the movie adaptation, and then there's 2 issues that came before it that are kind of like prequel stuff, but they're written by John Francis Moore, and really, really awesome. Like, I'm super excited that I got that. And 2 more things just to show you. I found these at a thrift store. Beano is a like a comic magazine in the UK, and it's just humor. It's a lot of funny stuff. They have a we don't get a whole lot of this kind of stuff here up in Canada because it's pretty unknown up here, probably in the United States as well. But they have a bunch of great comic strips like Dennis the Menace. This is not the same Dennis the Menace as the American version. I don't know if you can see this very well, but it's came out the same year as the American version, but is a different character. Jonah and Bash Street Kids. These are just some, for us here in North America, obscure but funny stuff. And then I also bought this book, which isn't a comic, but I am a huge fan of old animation as well. So there's a studio that did
nice.
like all the old Popeye cartoons,
Awesome.
the old Superman cartoons. This is a book about the history of this company, and it's a fantastic book. I have it in paperback, but this is a first edition that I found in an old used bookstore, so I had to pick that up as well.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's cool.
That's my haul. Very eclectic, but I like all sorts of different comics.
Very awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. That wasn't a single superhero book in there at all, and that stuff was all incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
Like that Fletcher book, I might have to go look for that because that's cool stuff. I like that old 1920s animation.
Yeah, I love that stuff. That's my favorite era of animation is the pre-war stuff. Really, and the wartime cartoons too. Just all of that era is really, really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There, we have some Beano fans in the comments. That's pretty good. Beano was my childhood comic. There you go. Yep. I'm just discovering this too. This stuff, it's all funny. Like it's all, I don't know if you can see some of these. It's just humorous, funny, pointless comics. I love that kind of stuff too.
Cool.
I didn't know about the UK Dennis the Menace. According to Hayden, he's saying the UK Dennis the Menace is way better than the American Dennis the Menace. However, I feel like I need to mention that Hayden also thinks Alien 3 is better than Aliens in Alien. So there goes that argument.
Wow. Okay. They are very different though because they both kind of get into mischief. Except Dennis the Menace is in the UK is a lot more like aggressive. Like he purposely goes and antagonizes people, whereas Dennis the Menace just kind of gets in mischief as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit different.
Gotcha. Yeah, I used to have they don't make them here or translate them here. There's a lot of South American magazines like that with that type of humor. One of my favorite one that I grew up with was Condorito, and I don't think
the parrot.
Well,
Condor.
Condor. He's a condor.
Yeah,
Condor.
of course.
Yeah.
Because of his name.
But I don't think it was ever been translated here. Omar, don't come for me when you still defend Batman Year 2. I will defend Batman Year 2 until they make an absolute of it. All day, every day. Batman Year 2.
That's the hill you're going to die on, buddy.
It's awesome. I don't care what anybody else says. Condorito Icone. Man, yeah, and what's interesting is going back and thinking about those types of like comic strips. There were like every woman drawn in that comic strip had humongous breasts, and they were curvy. And the dudes all looked like fat or low skinny dudes, and they were hooking up with these chicks. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it mattered who the market, like the target audience was for the companies that were publishing those books, right? Like, I guess I think of like things like Benny Hill, right? Like it's that time, and like at least in Peru, we still had magazines like that or comic strips like that. So I need to see if I can find some. I still have a couple somewhere. Exactly. See, yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. All the women. Huh. I'm starting to see my origin story now. I blame it on Condorito. All these years. Bobby Keaton's got my back on that Batman year two. Year 3 was solid too. Did y'all ever read that? That artwork by George Perez, I think, or the covers at least.
Oh, year 3's the
Jim Starlin,
the Tim Drake stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally Robin year 1, really.
Yeah.
Omar, all the women in Condorito, man. Woo.
But that's like when I watch like anything on the Spanish channels, like the weather channels, all hot chicks, and then all the male anchormen are just sloppy dudes. You can't tell me that's not true. It's like, whoa, this. Like here in America, like you have to be a good-looking guy to be on like an anchor show or in a commercial or anything. But in like Latin America
countries,
you're a hot chick, you're in there and you're dancing with the biggest, fattest, sloppiest dude ever. Like he's the man. We all have hope, boys.
That's right. So what's next? We gonna talk about what's coming out this week?
No, we're gonna
I want to know your other hauls. All your hauls.
Oh, let me go see if I can find. I just got a couple books in. I'll be right back. Gio, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, got it. I got it.
All right.
I am too lazy to stand up and get a book, so I'll just tell you about it. I got the first what's the name of it? Aquaman Volume 3 from the Deconic run. So I got that finally, and the IDW Godzilla series, the Rulers of the Earth. It's split up into 2 chunky trade paperbacks, and I think I showed Volume 2, which I found for cheap online, and I was able to get Volume 1, the reprinted version, and I also got from I think a couple weeks back, I got Street Fighter vs. Darkstalkers, the hardcover edition. So this is really cool.
That's awesome, dude. I'm so tempted to get into that Udon like Darkstalkers stuff because I love the characters. I love the art design. I don't know about the stories yet because I haven't jumped into it, but I just love the story designs or the character designs and stuff like that.
Stories aren't the best thing in the world, but it's fun because you like the video games and the characters.
You're not there for the story.
No, I mean this book was part of Prime Day, and Amazon had like a buy 3 get 1 free. So nice. I got that book, and this is not comic book related, but I finally got this, the Super Mario Bros. Encyclopedia.
I've got
so
that.
the free. Yeah, this is fantastic. I love all the Mario games, and the actual freebie was some manga, so I'm not going to show that. But I got this in, and this was an odyssey to get for not the company's the seller's fault. But I finally grabbed the Street Fighter Swimsuit Special Collection Edition, the hardcover. And,
hey now,
yeah. I finally got this. All the Omnibros know the story behind this. This was an odyssey to get. Jesus. Okay. I had to cancel and then refund and buy from other places. It was a wild mess, but I finally got it, and it's pretty awesome. I like the illustrations. They're pretty hot, as they say. Yeah.
You got to show us, Gio. Or is this like a just situation?
Yeah, I don't give a crap about that stuff. I'll show you. I'll show you some illustrations.
That's awesome. Is it just illustration? There's no writing. There's no story or anything.
No, it's just pinups, illustrations, all that.
Just hot
stuff.
people in bikinis. Oh,
yeah.
What else do you need?
Go to the beach. That's all.
Yeah, fun, sexy time, Street Fighter style at the beach.
Thick thighs save lives, man. Look at that.
Yep. This one's pretty cool. I like this one.
It is beautiful art, though. Like the line art, the coloring is really nice on these.
I mean, this is complete fan service. If you love Street Fighter and good art and all that stuff, it's a nice art book to have.
It's not biased either because there's dudes there too.
Yeah, equal representation for everybody. It's great. We could just have fun at the beach. There you go. So that's all I got.
There were people commenting on my video when I did the overview of this book that you're holding up, and they were talking about this, right? And I said, yeah, that would be awesome. And then like people went in there and said they would never do this because Marvel, it's different now. Like they would never. What is it like? I can't remember the wording they would use.
They would never stoop so low today in 2020.
Something like that. Like they're above that these days. They were almost being sarcastic, and I'm like because they're talking about women, right? Like the use of women in these swimsuits. I'm like, yeah, but the Marvel swimsuits also had dudes. Like everybody was sexualized.
Oh yeah.
And on top of that, they've been releasing books where there's boobs, like it's like Savage Sword of Conan, or in some of those horror magazines that have nudity. So I don't know. I mean, my thing is like I think it's just a time thing, and I think it would sell though. Like you're talking about the people. When was the first swimsuit issue, Gabe? 90?
91? 92?
I think it was either 90 or 91, something like that. So I mean, you think about that time. A lot of us that had those posters of Psylocke on our wall have now grown up, and we want a complete collection. And then you're stuck with, wait, what do you do? Do you rip out the posters and hang them up from the omnibus?
Well, you buy 2 Omnis and then you rip them out so that you have one that's unscathed. Yeah, because you're an adult with a job.
Okay, so Andre is saying Marvel prints swimsuit pinups in the extra sections of the current Omni, so why not? Hey, that's what I'm thinking too. I think
they're in the epics as well.
That's right. The X-Force epics had. I remember that ridiculous Mark Pacella Cable in a Speedo outfit.
Ridiculously awesome.
Gio's just got the whole show. He's turning page by page. He's not even talking. He's just like, this was a good.
I'm just showing out the book because why not? We're talking swimsuits, so
that's great stuff.
But as much as I want a Marvel swimsuit omnibus or did DC do swimsuit books? I remember Wildstorm did, man, with Fahrenheit. I don't know if you remember that picture. Oh my gosh! But anyway, I think I don't know. I think there are other books that I'd rather see in omnibus format. I hate to say that. Gio, slow down. I need to finish.
So yeah, that's pretty cool that they included Darkstalker's characters. Did not know that. All right, that's enough. All right, let's go back to the PG rating.
All right. How do I take this down? There it is. All right, cool. Did you grab what you needed to grab, Omar?
Yeah, man, I got some.
Word.
I'll be doing my haul on my channel here this week or next week. But speaking of Amazing Spider-Man, this just came in the mail. I forgot that I had ordered this because I wanted this cover.
That's a nice cover, man.
So this is from Amazing Spider-Man issue 49, the one that we were just talking about. I haven't even read it yet. So I don't get single issues that often, but if a cover really strikes me, I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. There's a lot of there's those variant covers that I sent you the other day, Gabe. The pictures of the Marvel versus
the Marvel vs. Capcom style one.
Yeah, the X of oh my gosh, I'm like I gotta get those. Those are awesome.
Yeah, I want prints.
This finally came in. I cannot wait to dive into this. This is one of my favorite runs of Wonder Woman. Very underrated run. This is William Messner Loeb's run, and eventually Mike Deodato takes over the book. But yeah, I think there's a volume 2 already solicited, and if you've not read, look how thick that is.
That is a good size book.
I'm not even going to talk about that.
What? You got it in finally? Wait,
yes,
no. Go back. How'd you get it? I know there was like some complications behind the scenes.
Publications, man, my book didn't ship for a month. I went ahead and did the video. I was like, I'm just gonna open it up and do a video real quick because I people have been asking me, where's the video? And I'm like, as soon as I get my book, I almost got discouraged. Like, I don't fucking know. Whenever the hell the book gets here, I'll do a video, I guess. Oh, I love this story. So I was like, I'll do a video. I was in a better mood. So yeah, it's finally here. And then I got this, which is a weird collection of orphaned issues from Graham Nolan and Chuck Dixon's run on Batman. So It's in standard size hardcover, right? Which matches up next to the. No, I do not. We don't talk about that NFL, dude. I don't think that book exists. I don't give a shit if anybody's showing pictures. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So those are the books that came in recently. But I do not have Gotham by Cast. I swear I ordered that like the day. Never mind. This is why I don't want to talk about it. Let's just go on. Let's look at books that are coming out tomorrow.
All right, real quick. I only got one thing for my haul.
Oh, I forgot. You didn't show your haul yet.
Yeah, I actually have a haul.
Nice.
Now I got the big book for the week. Yeah, I love everything to do with Peter David's Hulk run. This is the omnibus for me, where that era really kind of picks up. Like, this is where you get the great, you get this issue right here that starts the whole idea of the split personalities, and kind of you start getting into like the smart Hulk coming out. There's some great stuff in this book. I love. There's so many fond memories I have of this image right here. When I get to it, Hulk with the machine gun. I love that cover. That's a great issue.
The War and Pieces.
The X Factor crossover.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look who's becoming an X-Man fan. Kurtis. Look at you.
What?
Do you remember the issue number of X Factor though?
Oh, I don't know. 82.
76, man. Come on.
I don't know.
Lots
82 was the cassette. Never mind. I'm not gonna.
82 was the that was a Fatal Attractions.
Oh, okay.
This is a nice beast of a book too. Yeah, and this it overlaps a little bit. We talked about it before. It overlaps a little bit with the Epic collections that are out now, but this touches right up into you could go through this and then get right into the Epic collections. We know Volume 3 is coming out. We know Volume 9 of this is coming out or whatever.
David said there's going to be 5 of them.
There's going to be 5, so 9 is pretty close.
Hold that book up, because I need you. The back of it. That cover right there that you were looking at with Handsome Hulk's face.
Yeah.
The very first time you see it. You see up at the top how you have the different faces for Hulk on each of the letters. I always thought if there were going to be 4 of these, that's what should be on the spine for a connecting spine, was to have a different letter and have the faces on the letter. Just show that would be so cool. Volume 1 is out of print for now.
Yeah. It's been out of print for a minute. Yeah. Yeah, I see that cover that you're talking about there. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That would be cool. That's the first, or I guess, full appearance of Handsome Hulk.
Yeah, I like Handsome Hulk. I told you earlier. I showed you, especially when Gary Frank takes over, and you get and he gets really deep into I love his line work. He really makes nice, good looking Hulk. And this is the cover I wanted, which is originally a holofoil cover.
Yeah,
it works. So good stuff there. Can't wait for Volume 3. I know that's going to be. I know it's in the process. It's already been solicited, or I know you announced it already, Omar. So we know
it's in the solicitations. Yeah, so it's there, man.
It's happening.
Yeah. It's happening.
Man, they must have been really excited about the sales of that number 1, because they kicked out number 2.
It's been a long time.
They kicked out 3 pretty quick.
That was. Oh, I told you guys that story, right? That was one of my earliest questions to David when we talked on the phone. Was I don't even know why I had the balls to say this, but I was like, dude, how are you going to release a Red Hulk omnibus? That story sucks, and you don't have a Peter David omnibus. And he said, "Oh, yeah, Jeff Loeb is one of my best friends." And I was like, "Shit." I was like, "No disrespect. I'm so sorry. Sorry about that." And I can't remember what he said. He's like, "No, it's fine. It's fine. You're entitled to your opinion." But that's a good point. We don't have a Hulk by David omnibus, and then I don't know why he just didn't hang up the phone long. But it was true though. I'm like, Peter David is like the best Hulk story ever.
That Hulk run should be, no pun intended, evergreen. Like, it should always be available. Like, it's
some of those epics are out of print too, right, Kurtis?
The Pantheon one. Yeah, Follow the Pantheon.
And I'm sure that I was going to say that I think a lot of them will start to go more out of print now that these Omnis, but then no, they're actually printing the Omnis, so people are not even going to buy the epics to continue the story. They're going to wait for the Omnis because they're pumping them out so quickly.
Hot commodity, man. Maybe we'll get some Bruce Jones run, and then the Bill Mantlo run with that Mignola artwork. Of course, that's gonna be hard to do with that missing issue of Rom, huh? Ugh. Maybe by then the rights will be.
They got Rom in some of the Epic collections. He's on the cover of one of the Epics, isn't he?
I think a lot of the time that stuff slides by, dude. He's definitely in the handbook
front cover, but it's in the inside cover.
Yes. He's in the inside cover, and he's in the handbook of the Marvel Universe Omnibus.
And he's in that one issue of Peter David's Hulk where he's not in his armor.
And he's in the issue of Peter David Volume 2. And I didn't point it out. I actually edited that out because I'm like, I don't want anybody to know. I don't want Marvel to watch me like, wait, we got to recall it.
The thing is, I think cameo appearances are allowed, like that kind of thing.
I don't think, I remember when he was, damn it, I don't have it anymore because I sold them because I thought they were going to make epics. But during the Bill Mantlo run, was it Crossroads? One of those was, they had him like blacked out or something.
Because he wasn't a cameo. It wasn't a cameo appearance. They did the same thing with what is it? What was the character's name? Circuit Breaker in the Transformers comics when IDW
the first printing.
They totally just silhouetted all of her appearances
because she was a Marvel creation.
But later on in the series, when she just pops up as like in a cameo appearance and not actually the focus of an issue, she's in there. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but you're right, Gabe. On the cover of West Coast Avengers #1, Rom's head is on that cover. It's not on the cover of the Epic collection, but it is on the cover of the page that has that printed cover on the inside of the book.
Yeah. So is it Rom, or is it just another not dire wraith, but just like another one of his species?
Space Knights.
Well, I mean, it's just a cover with a bunch of heads on it because no one knew who was going to join the West Coast Avengers at that time. But the Power Man and Iron Fist Epic collection skips the Rom.
Yeah. So did the Bill Mantlo, one of those non-epics, pre-epics, I guess is what they were called.
We got a disagreement in the chat. Someone says they're happy with the Hulk Omnis. Someone says, not me. I'm waiting for the epic.
I love it. I think it's great. I'm
going to end up double dipping.
Yeah, and Marvel's doing great to their fans by having both available. Like, that's just incredible that both epics and Omnis of Peter David's run are pretty much going in print at the same time.
I think it's really smart because I remember somebody asking, like, they were worried. They were like, this X-Men box set, does that mean that we're not going to get a reprint of 1 and 2 of Uncanny X-Men? And I remember asking David, and he was like, no, one thing does not affect the other. They're, different collectors for different things. So that was good.
Peter David's current Maestro series.
See, I wonder about that. And here's something else, and this is something I need to reach out to David about, was Roger Stern's Spider-Man is getting reprinted, right? The Omnibus, which is a wonderful omnibus. It's huge, by the way. Mm-hmm. The original printing, all they're doing is just reprinting. Everything's going to be the same. I would love for them to add the Hobgoblin Lives storyline, which is where Roger Stern came back in the 90s to finish out that. Because I don't know if y'all know much about the Hobgoblin, right? There was a mystery as who he was, his identity, right? Yeah. The identity of the Hobgoblin, right? And there were many guesses, and then somebody else came in and wrapped it. But Roger Stern came in back in the 90s. I think, wasn't it Ron Friends? I want to say it was Ron Friends that did the artwork. They did a 3-issue miniseries called The Hobgoblin Lives, and I would love for them to add that into the omnibus because I think that is a perfect bookend for that particular omnibus. But I don't know. I don't know if they will or not. Could be a case of like, might be too many pages. I don't. You never know. So What's coming out this week? Y'all want to check that out?
Let's check it out. Let me get this ready.
Yeah.
This is the moneymaker here, Kurtis.
All right, everybody. Let's go and take a look at this. Before we start, everybody give us a thumbs up while you're here, because we're almost at 200 people in the chat. Give us a thumbs up. Hit that sub button.
Awesome.
And look in the link below and check out Kurtis's Epic Marvel podcast, his Facebook group, and his YouTube channel. So everybody take a look at all of that stuff. And here, so we're going to talk about books coming out this week. November 4th, you'll be able to find these on our sponsor's website, instocktrades.com. Tomorrow, the site refreshes at 12 noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So get that F5 button ready to go. And let's take a look and see what we got going on, guys. Image Comics this week. We have On the Stump trade paperback, Reaver trade paperback volume 2, and Swing volume 3. I don't know what that is, but that's a nice cover. Dark Horse this week is coming out with Avatar Last Airbender Lost Adventures, Baboon trade paperback.
Yeah.
The Courageous Princess, Dragon Queen.
Oh, my oldest used to read those. She really liked those stories. Mm-hmm. And somebody's asking me in the chat about the McFarlane Spidey Omni. Nothing yet. Nothing yet, by the way. Oh, Swing is a spinoff of Stepan Sajic's Sunstone.
Oh, is it? Does he have anything
That's
to do with
cool.
it?
It looks like his artwork.
I don't see his name on anything. Matt Hawkins.
No, there's the Sunstone.
Oh, yeah, it is a spinoff. That's cool.
Nice.
So where are we? Courageous Princess, trade paperback volume 3. Disney's Frozen library edition hardcover.
Wow. Hey,
I like that. That gets a library edition.
I'm
over a lot of other
dead serious. Dark Horse kills it in the book market. And it's mainly these Disney books.
Then we have Hidden Society trade paperback. Keep Your Hands Off. Azuken. Thank you, Gio.
The manga.
And then we have Tomorrow and the Troll Guide trade paperback.
Troll Guide looks awesome. I wish.
I wonder if that's
was
going to be about
hardcover.
internet trolls at all. Like, there's a guy with the 15 different accounts. There's no. IDW this week.
Oh God! Do you know how
Omar?
close I'm? Do you know how close I come to purchase this book?
I've heard you talk about it. Micronauts, Michael Golden Artist Edition hardcover.
I want these so bad, dude.
Yeah.
So
that has
bad.
got to be amazing because you don't get Micronauts anything these days,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Golden's artwork is fantastic, and be able to see like the original art, like in full color, black and white full color. Beautiful stuff. I love these things. This has 7, 9, 11, and 12.
Golden.
Another.
I'll tell you what, man. Michael Golden to me, and I don't know if maybe Kurtis can correct me, but I think he was the very first American artist I ever saw inspired by anime. Like, I had never seen somebody so inspired by anime until, and then of course you had Arthur Adams, and then eventually you had Joe Mad, right? But to me, this was the very first time I ever saw somebody that was inspired by the mech, inspired by like these stunning like panels that they would use in manga. Like, it's really cool. Just that's part of the reason why I want to own that, man.
Yeah, good stuff. And he's such a nice guy too. So
which issue? Because I know that Captain Universe debuted in one of these early issues of Micronauts, right? I'm gonna have to look that up because I wonder if it's.
Well,
Captain
I don't even
Universe?
know what. It's the Marvel character that anybody can be the hero. Can you actually? I don't know what issues are included in here.
7, 9, 11, and 12.
Okay.
Captain Universe is Micronauts number 8. That's his first appearance. So it's not in there. I was wondering if it was going to be, because that'd be kind of cool.
And these are complete issues. It's like you can read the issues in the original artwork form, which is really cool. Which is what's really
all of these artist editions are incredible. They do such a good job of scanning the artwork to show off all of the great details of the behind the scenes work.
Well, you get like the whiteout, you get some of the notes and the corrections.
Yep.
So you get all kinds of
where
really
the,
cool
the
stuff.
glue hasn't stuck anymore, and all. Yeah, it's really, really great.
I have a handful.
I'm so sorry about your Boom Studios can't even put covers in their library editions. That's a damn shame.
I'm still waiting for that Jim Lee X-Men artist edition.
That's been delayed.
I know, and I'm good with that. Whatever, but it's a must-buy.
February, I think, is when they said.
Yeah, that's what mine. I have a pre-order through Amazon, and they're telling me February.
Okay.
It's because he keeps getting more artwork.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah, Scott Dunby's like, look what I found.
I know, every week he's like, I got another one.
He's like, I got to change the cover because we got this cover in now, so we got to redo it. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Marvel this week, we have Amazing Spider-Man by Nick Spencer trade paperback. That tells us nothing. Spider-Man by Nick Spencer.
I think that's volume 9, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Sins Rising.
Sins Rising. Yeah.
I started reading that too because I was doing an overview of it.
Black Panther hardcover volume 3, Intergalactic. I know, Omar, you did an overview on this, right?
Love that book, dude. And I found out because of my commenters, they were saying that it's on hiatus. I didn't know that Black Panther by Ta-Nehisi Coates was on hiatus.
Oh, no.
So he hasn't wrapped up his Intergalactic storyline.
Well, it's a good thing they're letting him do it. They just didn't hand it off to like another writer or something.
Yeah, so I'm in. I love this. Love that volume. Taking him to space. Oh, dude, it's so good.
And then we got a Disney Kingdom's Haunted Mansion.
Okay, I threw this off as a joke book, like, it's a Disney ride, but Joshua Williamson writes it.
Oh yeah,
the nail biter, right?
Uh-huh.
And so the first one, the Haunted Mansion story, is actually pretty good. It reads less like a kid's book. I don't know. I really dug it.
Is it as good as the Haunted Mansion movie starring Eddie Murphy?
I only watched a third of that because that was a bad date. That was a bad date, man.
Oh, I was hoping I only saw a third of it because it was a really good date.
Sorry to disappoint. That was a bad date.
Then we got Empire X-Men trade paperback, and
solid.
Marvel's going back, and they're doing reprints of all the Heroes Reborn, and here's the Iron Man trade paperback from good old Jim Lee and our boy Wisp Patashio on this stuff.
Kurtis, you want to tell people what this adds that's different from the other printings?
It's so strange because they've decided, because the 12th issue of each of the Heroes Reborn books was a crossover to kind of tie up the whole series, not including issue 13. But so they've included all 4 parts of all of the number 12s in this one book, but they also included all of the number 12s in the Captain America one and all of the number 12s in the Avengers one also. So it's like buying that story 4 times if you buy all of the Heroes Reborn. And for some reason, the Fantastic Four Heroes Reborn book that came out a while back, that was just a straight reprint of the other one. It doesn't include all 4 of the issue 12s. So, I don't know. It's confusing.
Things don't make sense sometimes.
Yep.
And then we also have Iron Man 2020 Robot Revolution. Marvel's art of Andy Kubert. Oh man, you gotta
Adam.
Adam, excuse me. I'm still gonna want this. I love the Kubert brothers.
Yep.
Ultimate Fantastic Four, Ultimate X-Men. That's all great, beautiful stuff. Avengers versus X-Men.
It covers his entire time, dude. Actually, the very last page is a tribute that he writes, and it made me tear up because he's talking about his dad and how they used to go on road trips, and I was like, "Oh, dude, you can't do this to me." It's beautifully written.
Adam Kubert's first work on Wolverine was Wolverine 75, a significant, awesome issue.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And then because they talk about everything. I like no, it's not. This one is written by somebody else. I was gonna say it's the guy that runs the Tom. What is his name? Kurtis, the guy that ran the Masterworks website.
Gormu, John Rhett Thomas.
John Rhett Thomas, yeah. He wrote the other one. He wrote the Conan book, the Savage Sword Conan book.
All right, moving on. We got a Marvelverse Deadpool and Wolverine graphic novel. I love that Deadpool image. That's one of my favorite Ed McGuinness Deadpool images.
It's from the first issue, isn't it? Or the
No, that's a promo. That was a
promotional artwork. Yeah,
that was a poster in like a Wizard magazine. I have it on a T-shirt. Yeah. Star trade paperback, Birth of a Dragon, and a must-have if you guys are anybody's interested in what's going on with Thor from Donny Cates.
That run is so crazy.
Yes.
That run is so great. I just so I'm starting to read Empire right now because I was doing a video tomorrow, and I read Thor this morning.
It's great.
Oh, I know. I can't talk about it without spoiling it, but there's things in there that I thought about you. I'm like, well, I wonder how Gabe feels about this.
Yeah, it's great. I've been catching it here and there in singles. I missed a couple issues because some of them are really expensive and I missed out on them. But Thor is really, really good. This is definitely a must grab if somebody's interested at all. And I'm sure people here are going to be, oh, I'm going to wait for the hardcover. I'm going to wait for an Omni.
It's going to be a while.
It's worth to check it out. And then we got this thing called an Epic Collection. Curtis, you want to get? Let's let you talk about this one today.
Sure. Yeah, it's the best-selling Epic Collection of all time. Wow. This is the very first Venom. Yeah, people were when that was first announced. Everybody in my group were all like, "What the heck? What are they thinking?" It's to tie in with the movie that was supposed to come out this month, but has been delayed. So there it is, and it collects all of the. It's pretty much the first half of the Spider-Man versus Venom Omnibus, all of the early appearances of Venom.
This is some really good stuff, too. I love like the 315, 317 era, the 332, 333.
So to me, I find it interesting that they did that, right? Like they went with the Spider-Man versus Venom. So this is full-blown Eddie Brock Venom. Because I could have sworn, I'm like, maybe they're going to start it with the Road to Venom, right? So then it's, but then I guess that's part of the alien costume, so I don't know if they're going to do that. It's going to be interesting because did you see that how they mapped the Road to Venom?
Yes, I did see that.
Is the Road to Venom, is that the one I'm thinking about? The one that just came out a couple weeks ago. Because they added the Venom Origins miniseries in there.
The Dark Origins,
I've never seen a Marvel trade paperback do that, not in publishing order, but release something in chronological order, right? I thought that was really cool because IDW's been doing that for a few years with their Transformers and Ninja Turtles. But it was the first time I saw a Marvel trade paperback do that, where they released the origin story.
The -1 Venom issue, they put that one in there as well.
It's in there as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's usually what it is with these epics, right? They kind of just start, especially with these single characters that kind of spun out of a series. They kind of collect all their appearances first. As like
this volume, absolutely. This volume is necessary because it's all of the character development that defines this character moving forward. If we started at Lethal Protector, like that's coming in partway through the story.
And that's where Venom Omnibus Volume 1 starts out.
Yeah.
So when you're reading Venom Omnibus, it's literally like the spin-off of Spider-Man 375. You're like, okay, this guy's a hero. Yeah. You get to see his huge fights with Spider-Man. And I'm also interested to see if they're going to collect like things like, how would you collect Maximum Carnage? Because Venom plays a big role in that.
It's collecting its own epic collection, isn't it?
It's in the Spider-Man epic, but much like the case of X-Men and X-Force, each one of those has like sometimes the whole event or part of the event. So I'm interested to see where how they're mapping it out.
If they wanted to make everybody mad, they'll wait till the Maximum Carnage Spider-Man epic is out of print and then just reprint Maximum Carnage, but put the Venom Epic Collection trade on it. And then all of us who are collecting all of them will be like, seriously?
Or they do that thing where they put the one issue in the one volume, where they break up the issues and they put like all the Spider-Mans are in one volume, and all the spectaculars in one volume, all the webs in one volume.
I hate it when they added one issue that was not in an omnibus, and I'm like, shit, I gotta get this epic.
Well, that's what they did with the Maximum Carnage one. There's a graphic novel that they added in the end.
They did the same thing with, what was it? There was another omnibus that I had that I'm like, well, I guess I don't need this one. I think it might be the Cosmic Spider-Man one. I can't remember. Which is out of print. No, that one came back. And then we got the two big Venom Omnibus coming out.
Yes, sir. Venom Omnibus hardcover volume 3 with the Deodato cover and the Sam Keith cover. That Sam Keith cover is amazing.
And also both of these are now out of print.
Are they gone already?
Yeah, but
is this just the first wave of shipments though?
Just like everything. Well, first wave, like they don't. That's the thing. Like there is no first wave. This is it. It's me literally like we need to restock these, and the numbers aren't there because there's so many things that are messing up with the systems. So I still haven't heard anything about the War of the Realms restock, or what's the one that came out last week that just. Oh, of course, Infinity Gauntlet.
Or Hulk. Oh, Infinity Gauntlet, yeah.
Infinity Gauntlet was gone. Which Omnibus will just pick? The tongue. I think the tongue cover is awesome. Yeah. We have super chat from Hip Hop Happens. Could reprints of Silver X-Men Omni include Epic 4? Probably not. No.
Not enough room to add that much material in there.
Maybe. I don't know who makes the calls when it comes to the X-Men, but they're really good about orphaned issues. Maybe they could do something like they did with Venom with what's the Hidden Years? Is that the John Byrne series? Maybe they could throw that in there. I don't know. I'm just trying to see how they would do it in an oversized hardcover. Or maybe actually that Epic Collection might be enough material for an oversized hardcover.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably around 450 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love how that super chat was in Canadian money.
Yeah, there you go.
Curtis here. That's awesome. It works out. All right, so yeah, the two Venom Omnibus, X-Men Sword.
So that, in case you already have the Kieran Gillian X-Men Complete Collection, I think it's in Volume 2. So, but it's just a reprinting of that 4-issue miniseries.
All right, Boom Studios this week. We got.
All right, here's a good question. Because I need to clarify something from Stephen Wolf. When I say out of print, it's out of print at the distribution center. The people that ship out the books to places like In Stock Trades and Tales of Wonder and DCBS, Cheap Graphic Novels. All those places get the books from there. And then you also have the Hachette, who does the book distribution. And those are the places like Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So when I say it's out of print, that's where it's out of print. It means that they're back ordered through the warehouse. And if those warehouses and printing, the printers don't have any books to ship, then that's when it goes out of print. It's all a big domino effect from this past year, man. Like, there's everything crapping on each other. I'm so glad Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is still there. Thank goodness that that's still coming out.
Is this Volume 4? This is Volume 4.
Yeah. Well,
wow.
It is. It takes place after Shattered Grid, and it doesn't. Like, I was hoping they would do a Go-Go Power Rangers Year 1, but I guess this is. That's good. And I know it's not. It's not Kyle Higgins, but I'll take it. Look at that cover. The
cool.
Ranger Slayer.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at the comics, graphic novels, the kind of ephemera items. See if there's anything here we want to stop on.
By the way, if
Jax is asking a really good question. I'm sorry, Gio, go ahead.
No, I was just going to recommend Blue Giant. I think everybody should pick that up. I'm really excited about that. It's a manga about a kid wanting to be a jazz musician. So, it's his rise to stardom. Think Whiplash, but in manga form. It's that type of story. So I do recommend that one. That's the first omnibus that's coming out.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Very cool. Jax is asking, how do you gain access to check out of print, out of stock status? Honestly, it's just, I don't have access. I just know people that can do it and reach out to me and do it.
People
you have an account. Like, I know Curtis knows people. You have an account, Curtis?
No, I don't have an account myself. I have to get it through people who do have an account.
Exactly.
Those are people who own comic shops and do ordering on large quantities.
So people that have shops could check it for you if you need to. Very excited about that dark arc after the flood, by the way. I don't know if y'all read the first series was so awesome.
Yeah, it's basically the Bible story of the ark, but the other ark that has all the like monsters and creatures and like dragons.
Awesome.
And stuff like
So
that.
good. So good.
Amazing.
There are a lot of manga here, and if anybody's wondering about that stuff, go back to last Thursday's show. At the later half of the show, we covered all the books coming out in November, so we don't have to go over them today.
Oh, Lucky.
Okay, hold on. Lucky Luke, I want to talk about that one here.
Okay, so what is Lucky Luke volume 74 and 75? These are the soft covers?
These are all soft cover. They're printed exactly like they would overseas. 75 is the last volume. They've now done the whole series, and volume 75 is the only one that's kind of out of order because there are some really terrible Chinese stereotypes in that one, and they were contemplating back and forth whether or not they should even publish that one, but they did, unedited. It's completely uncensored, and it's there for anyone who is a fan of Lucky Luke.
I like the Cinebooks is publishing the hardcover editions, and I've got the first 3. I don't know if they've done more since then, but big fan of those.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does Maximum Carnage Epic Collection contain all the story? 100%. It's all there, including, like Kurtis said, like another graphic novel. Hey, Omar, when will you be doing the solicitations for this month? I did last Friday. It's on my channel. That's my hardest to edit video, but I love making it. Perfect Soul. Like, you getting those perfect edition of Soul Eaters, dude? Gio? I'm thinking about getting them.
No. Yeah, they look great, but I haven't gotten them yet. Yeah. I am getting slime, though. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. The series is still ongoing.
All right.
I think that's...
Let's look at some DC books.
All right. Give me a second to get over to the DC one. I thought we were done. We had the DC stuff's in a different website.
And, well, I don't know how much longer, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen when Lunar takes over 100%.
We don't. Lunar doesn't have a website, do they? Like, oh boy,
not a public site. I mean,
we'll hold up printed pieces of paper. Like, hey,
a graph.
Yeah,
I would just point out what's coming out.
It's just my sloppy handwriting, and I'll just write everything out.
Yeah.
All right, so DC this week has got some good stuff coming out this week, actually. So. Batman Superman Volume 1, who are the Secret 6 trade paperback.
Great series, man. My wife loved that. Joshua Williamson.
Yeah, we were just talking about him. Daphne Byrne hardcover. This is from the Hill House Comics.
Let me can we answer Noel's question really quick? He's asking why do we have to check on a different site? Because DC and Diamond's relationship ended at the beginning of the pandemic. So DC dropped Diamond and instead went with 3 different distributors. They're using UCS, they're using Lunar, and they're using Penguin Random House, who they've been using for their book distribution. So that's why we have to go to a different website. If you go back and look at Diamond's website, the Previews World, there's absolutely like
no DC
nothing.
This week on there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jesse, you're asking about February? 2021? Oh, no, I don't have that yet. That'll be sometime this week. Sorry.
Hard Time, the complete collection.
Yep. Yeah, it's awesome.
Justice League Unlimited, Time After Time trade paperback. Here's a big one right here for everybody. Lucifer Omnibus Volume 2.
For sure, man. It's a good book.
Gio and I was talking about this earlier. Plastic Man Rubber Band Deluxe Edition.
Yeah.
Oh man,
the cover's so awesome.
Yeah. It's supposed to come with an actual rubber band to hold the book together.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
And then I'm gonna pick this up for sure. Sandman Deluxe Edition Book 1 hardcover.
You don't have any like any of Sandman collected in any format?
No, I borrowed my friend's trades, and I only read like the first 2 or 3, and just kind of fell off of it.
Oh, dude, yeah, you need to
The
own that
absolutes
series.
are falling out of print, and they're kind of expensive for me. Where it's come to, it's not a book that I'm absolutely in love with because I haven't read most of it.
Mhm.
So, but the hardcover like this, I'm in. I'll check it out this way for sure. And that's
Gotcha.
a really cool cover. I like this cover for some reason.
It is. I like that too. Surprised they didn't use what's his name, Dave McKean,
Yeah.
but they went with Kaluta.
Or even I mean, Sam Keith did the first couple issues.
Yeah, but what's his name did the covers for
Yeah.
all the issues. So surprised they didn't go that route.
Supergirl up there for our boy Kenny. Supergirl Volume 3, Infectious trade paperbacks coming out. Superman City of Tomorrow.
Okay,
That's
so this is
that's the Joe Kelly stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, it's Joe Kelly, Jeff Loeb era, Superman. I love this
Ed
era.
McGuinness. Yeah, that's some fun stuff.
Yep, Mike Wieringo drawing a lot of those issues.
I love the way Ed McGuinness does Superman. Just big, thick,
by far,
just massive
best.
of a man,
and his big chin. I love it. It's perfect.
Teen Titans Deathstroke, Terminus Agenda. That's the Christopher Priest stuff. Victor and Nora
in an omnibus. Yeah, I hope that Christopher Priest run gets collected in an omnibus format.
Oh, we got the Tony Daniel stuff. Was it the Tony Daniel one that came out?
It was right. We didn't get a Rob Liefeld one, did we? I can't remember.
Oh, could we please? And the Grifter or Hawkman? I'm lying about Hawkman.
Those were never mind.
I don't want any of that. I'm good. All right, and that is that, everybody, for this week's releases. What a big week!
If anything, why don't they give us our Worlds at War? It's already mapped out. Give us an omnibus.
It's in a trade, isn't it? It's like a big
fat trade. I've got it. Yeah. They could just make that into an omnibus.
I love that Joe Kelly stuff. I was really into Superman at that time.
All the DC decisions are based on reason and logic. Oh my gosh. Dude, I don't even know who's left over there to make decisions.
That tracks. I was listening to, coincidentally, Adam Chapman's podcast because I was listening to him on your show, Curtis, and he was interviewing Michael Lark. And Michael Lark was going on about his time on Gotham Central and how poorly they treated the collected editions for it. He got they not misspelled his name, but his name was in a different font. Like it was a smaller presence on the cover.
Right. It was.
There's other stuff getting put out into a trade paperback, and he was like, "Hey, DC editorial, how come there's not a Gotham Central collected edition out yet?" And they're well, we don't know what to do with that book. What do you mean? It's Gotham Central. He even said, Bendis was Brian Michael Bendis was if your job is to sell comics and you can't sell Gotham Central, you need to find a new job because that book is just
I really need to make an episode on my horror stories that I've had at listening to the DC collected editions department over the last year.
I can only
remember. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And that omnibus, that Gotham omnibus, would not have been made if somebody was not in the audience during that. What the hell is that meet that they have at conventions? Literally, somebody said it's a special panel where they just have different artists and different. It's not even a collected editions panel, but they have editors there, right? And somebody said, "Why don't you guys publish the Gotham Central book into an omnibus? You have that new show coming out." And they were like, "There's a new show? It's called Gotham." And they were like, "Oh, that's not a bad idea." And that's how we got a Gotham omnibus.
Oh man.
So JLA omnibus it's the 17th. It comes out. It's next week.
It's the third week. The third week's gonna kick our asses, man. Third week is JLA, Super Sons, and No Man's Land. I think, and that's 3 of those.
I need that No Man's Land, but I'm worried that might be the only one I get. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
If that's not the new 52 Volume 2 for Batman, come on, am I really expected to get more No Man's Land? Like, who cares about No Man's Land besides us?
Maybe.
Like,
I love No Man's Land.
I do too, but
I don't know if they're gonna go follow through and do it.
Snyder Capullo Batman New 52 is like one of the best runs they've had, successful runs they've had in Batman for a long time. And you got one omnibus, and that's, I think, no, it's not out of print, but it's
out of print.
I thought it was still on Amazon for some reason.
Amazon is the only one that can get it because they're still part of the Penguin Random House, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah, there's no volume 2 of that. And what's it been? It has to have been over a year.
It's been over a year.
Anything of a solicitation.
There's no solicitation yet. Yeah. So I don't know.
And am I really supposed to be like, yeah, sure. How about No Man's Land? Give me a volume 2 of that.
Sean L reminds me right there. See, that's another thing. They never finished out. They never finished these books out. They never finished out Robin. They never finished out Chuck Dixon's Birds of Prey. They never finished out Batgirl.
Green Lantern by Ron Mars. They cut that off after the second one. Like,
Aquaman by Peter David. But you know what I'm saying? It's like they don't have any faith in their product because they're afraid of pre-orders. Like pre-orders aren't strong enough. And I get, but Marvel has shown us time and time again that pre-orders aren't where all the numbers are coming from because their books are selling out apparently as soon as they're dropping. So DC just needs to hire somebody with some confidence and some book sense and is also a fan so they can get these books to the people that want them. They're sitting on money. That's the thing that I never understood about them. Like all they got to, they would be printing money with these collections.
Yep.
Okay. Sean L has this question here. The answer is no. There is no great site to buy books for in Canada because you're thinking of like you want a site like in stock trades where they'll give you a huge discount and stuff. It's just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. And I think the reason is just due to the exchange rate and having to ship books across the border. It's just not worth it to discount the books. The publishers don't get any sort of like their return is not great. However, if you live in Vancouver, I will give a shout out to my favorite used bookstore called Pulp Fiction Books, where they will order all of your new graphic novels. They don't deal with single issues. They only deal with, they're in the book market, so they order from Hachette. They will order all of that for 40% off. And that's the only place that I know that would do anything like that.
It's called Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction Books. They don't do online stuff. You can only order it through their store. So if you are in Vancouver, I would hit them up because I get all my Epic collections for a good discount there.
I was just asking because that's kind of a coincidence because cheap graphic novels, like their storefront, like their legit like brick and mortar storefront, it's called Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it is a coincidence. They're not associated. They're not affiliated. Yeah.
I used to go to a Pulp Fiction in Clarksville, Indiana. They used to sell toys and stuff.
Thank you, Omnibros, for having Kurtis on the episode. More
thank you.
In the future.
Sure.
Kurtis is a good guy, man.
You have an open invitation, Kurtis. I know you didn't want to be presumptuous that you could just hop in and ask. And thankfully, I stepped to you first.
Yeah.
But it's an open invitation.
All right. Well, and I don't even have to buy Omnis?
No. We can wait till there's like a. We don't have to wait. You can hop in whenever you want to talk or promote something you got going on. Maybe it'll be a heavy Epic week too that you could jump in. Who cares? I mean, you've got an open seat here for sure.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks. And whenever I get my schedule up and running for regular live streams on my own channel, then I'll have to have you guys on as well.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Anytime, brother.
Big family.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's next year though, isn't it? Flashpoint Omnibus is not until next year, I think.
Maybe.
So,
Yeah.
I can look it up real quick.
Of course I will. Of course, yes. Alpha Epic Collection. We still asking about that?
How old is that going to get?
Never until it gets printed, and then everybody's like, "That wasn't that funny."
They're like, "Why did we make this happen?"
I'll do it.
Kurtis is a good
yeah,
person.
there you go.
Yes.
Thank you, Marcelo. Lionheart, thank you.
He's an epic bro.
Epic bro.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
It's because of Kurtis that I've been really diving into thick trades and epics. Yeah, he'll get you. He'll lure you.
It's a great way to experience this stuff.
Omnibus, you mean Mark Waid's Flash? I've been waiting. That's one of my most wanted for so long. It's I don't know. I don't know how that hasn't happened. There's a lot of there's a lot of stellar runs. Alf cosplay. Yeah, right. Would Kurtis get Alf? That's actually a good question. Kurtis?
I kind of have to, whether I want to or not. But yes, I would get Alf Epic Collections. Absolutely.
I don't know. Who wrote Alf? Like, who wrote it? I don't even know a single writer on that book.
I don't know.
Like Alan Moore? Does everybody know something that I don't know?
One of those things where you're like, Dan Slott wrote Ren and Stimpy for like 50 issues? Wow.
Yeah, because he did. He did.
Yeah.
And Amanda Connor was the artist on Barbie comics for a long time, Marvel Barbie. So they could do a Marvel Barbie by Amanda Connor complete collection.
There's a Gargoyles from the Disney cartoon that was done by Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor.
Oh,
wow,
nice.
that's cool.
It's like a 12-issue run. It's pretty badass, and some of the covers are done by Joe Mad. So.
Is the X-Men Paragon edition Marvel's next version of the Adamantium editions? No. That's something that I don't even know if their collected editions department is trying out, because this is being kickstarted, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a little bit different.
Okay, guys, I just looked it up. Artwork on the Alf series, Marie Severin.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Classic.
So that's pretty cool.
Can't bust on Alf anymore.
Dave Manick. I don't know who Dave Manick is.
Dude, those trade paperbacks of Gargoyles are so expensive. Ridiculous.
The slave labor issues are super expensive too.
Yeah. Epics and Omni's best way to double dip. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I do it all the time.
Yep. Marvel Epics do so well. Why do
That's the question. That's the question.
They really should do something like that, because
they were trying to with the Bronze Age. They even did the number on the back, which is the biggest problem for the book market. The book market hates those stupid numbers, Volume 1, because they know that Volume 10 does not sell as many as a Volume 8 nor a Volume 1. So that was David's idea. I was like, okay, we'll put the numbers on the back, and everybody hated it at first, and now it's become the standard for the Epic collection. It's great.
Dan DiDio came out and said that, and everybody called him an idiot. I'm like, no, that's 100% true.
But it's true.
Trust me, working in a comic book store as long as I have, you can't sell a volume 3. No, it's a complete storyline. This is the start of a new story arc. Like, you can go here. It's great. No, I need number 1. We're doing the number 1. Then why am I going to get number 2?
So there were some DC books that had that. I want to say there were a couple Bronze Age collections that had like the number printed on the back. I don't know if I don't have any of them. Michael Gallagher scripted the Alf comics. Okay, I guess
there we go.
You got a lot of Alf aficionados in this chat.
Apparently.
Going to go to Malmac and eat some cats.
There will be shows tomorrow, right?
I got Old Reader New. Well, Maddie's got Old Reader New Reader. They're doing Promised Neverland.
Just don't turn on the TV. Don't turn on the internet tomorrow.
I'm drinking.
That's a good idea too.
Your poor country.
Yeah, laugh it up.
Yeah, you get
on the other side of the border laughing.
Yeah, Kurtis gets to dodge that stuff like the Matrix. He's like, whatever.
Just make fun of you with our big discounted books.
That's right.
Who you laughing at now, boy?
If they get their universal health care.
That's true.
Okay, so here's the answer, or one of the answers. The closest thing DC has done to an Epic is those Hellblazers, thick trades, but they should do that for other. Absolutely. Yeah. And I can't believe Hellblazer went all the way through. Yeah. Almost. They're almost done. But
they're still putting them out, right?
What they should. Yes, that's what they should have done in omnibus format. Yeah.
Like the show didn't even do that well.
They look great like epics. They all kind of line up and they match.
What the hell?
An Alpha Omnibus Volume 3.
I don't believe that, Joe Chip.
Do a show every day is my first one. I really enjoyed it. Well, thanks for showing up, Phil Owens.
Phil's a good guy.
Yeah, Phil's a really good guy.
Yeah, we do here on Omnibros is Sunday, Monday, and Thursdays is our show. Omar does like a video basically every day.
Not live shows though. I leave my
Right.
live show on Saturday and then on Tuesdays for old reader, new reader.
Yeah.
The essential edition's like an epic, right? No, the essentials are black and white. So those were like phone books. I don't know if you remember those.
They're like coloring books.
But they are an epic in the sense that they try to collect the whole unbroken run.
Yes, exactly.
And
That's what makes these different.
Like Essential Godzilla is an expensive book. That's the only way you can get that Godzilla story or that Godzilla.
One day, that's gonna happen.
I turned into a crapping on DC like segment, but it is what it is. You know.
I mean,
it's not us. They're too. They know what's up.
It's not the people that work there. I mean, I feel bad for the people that got fired. It's the people that are running the show. They don't have any faith on their own label. Let's see, Omar, your last rant. Does the problem with expanding Omni reprints and new title production lie roughly equally? Because Omni's not earning enough for publishers, or as is too, Omni price is not capable. Are you talking about when I'm talking about the domino effect of sales of Omnis, or I'm sorry, I guess of being raised much further because of direct market retail's limits. And 3, maybe I'll wait until you're okay. I'll wait until you're done typing, man. Did the essentials come out in order? I only had a few of those and then some showcases.
In most cases, yeah. The X-Men one started with the giant size era.
Oh, I remember the first printing of that one issue with the nip slip of Storm because of the way Dave Cockrum drew her. The colorist had... Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The colorist colored, her nipple, like to make it look like she was behind the shower. But in the black and white printing, her nipples were out.
X-Men Essentials.
Storm nipple. Omar, it's Justice League Dark Side War going to get reprinted? I don't know. I really don't know. At DC, every once in a while will send me a book, maybe reply to an email once a month with something that has nothing to do with what I asked. Oh yeah, I'm getting it.
Yeah, I'm there too. I'm just fingers crossed on that volume 2 is my only.
I don't know if I have any faith if they're continuing it, but I'm still gonna get it. Did he ever finish his question?
I don't see number 3 up yet.
I don't see it. Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's really long, but I do have to get going because we've been on for almost 2 hours. Oh, there it is. There, because of us having become too accustomed to expecting steep discounts on them. Okay, let me try to read this again. If you don't mind, so we can try to decipher this together. Last rant, does the problem with expanding Omni reprints and new title production lie roughly? Okay, so you're talking about because I said that they can't reprint every title so many times a year, like every title that everybody wants a year, right? So I think they're limiting to like 3 or 4 reprints a month now, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 2. Used to be 2 a year, which is insane.
Yeah, I remember those days.
I remember one time it was 1 a year. Everybody was so excited for new X-Men. When new X-Men was reprinted, everybody was like, hallelujah, this is amazing. And then the next year they reprinted 2. Seriously, I mean, this is the first year that we've had, I can't even remember. I can't keep up with my announcements. I think one video I did 15 books coming, new books. So I think it's just a matter of they don't want to drown the market out, right? Like they don't want to. We're not talking about single issues that are $3 to $4. We're talking about $100 books, and not everybody has that much money to spend on 4 or 5 titles a week, right? If you're releasing 4 or 5 Omnis a week, that's retail price of, let's just say $500. Like even at a discount, let's say $300, right? Not a lot of people have that much expendable income like that. They can just go and say, I want to buy all these books, and they know that. Right, so that's why they have to start just sprinkling it out throughout the year, giving you enough time to save. Can you read Road to No Man's Land cold? Absolutely, yeah, because it starts off. Damn it, no, you know what? Yes, you can, but I would strongly suggest with the Contagion crossover. Contagion that leads into Legacy, Legacy leads into Cataclysm. Cataclysm is part of Road to No Man's Land.
Yeah. The Cataclysm is important, but yeah, there's a little bit more.
But that's in there. But I think Contagion and the big revelation of thank you, Raphael. The big revelation of what's really behind Legacy. Oh man. Hey, I don't get all my Omnis free, Terror.
So shout out
ask my wife how much I have to spend.
Thank you for the super chat, Raphael.
Yeah, Raphael, thanks for the super chat, man. Thank you. So shout out to you for that. That's awesome. We appreciate you appreciating our great content. Thumbs up.
Yeah, thank you. And on top of that, I give away a lot of stuff.
That's true.
So I mean, like, it's not like I can go to the grocery store with an omnibus because I gotta feed my kids.
All right,
we'll drop off the book.
But I do have to jump off, gentlemen.
Yeah,
this
we
is a
all
lot of
need
fun.
to. I know I do. It's 2 hours. I gotta get to my kids.
Same here.
Same here.
Same here.
We're all ignoring our children.
My kids are old enough. They're up there. They're fine. I just have to get going.
Okay, so before you take, we're all going to take off together. Where can they find you at, Omar?
Near Mint Condition. That's my channel.
All right. And Gio, where can we find you at?
You can find me on my channel, A Week in Geekdom, talking about anime, comics, and manga.
And our special guest today, Kurtis, where can people find you at, sir?
EpicMarvelPodcast.com. You can search us on all various social media places, except for MySpace. We're not there.
Because you're not an up-and-coming band to be discovered. All right, everybody. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
You can find me, Gabe Loves 90s Comics on Instagram. And we are out of here, guys. Thank you so very much. Tomorrow's the end of the world. So good luck.